Remembering the 80s.
Did you know that Twitch has over 2 million channels? How do you know which ones to subscribe to? Well, have no fear. Your solution is here. A collection of streamers from the northwest of England have created a one-stop shop for all your gaming needs. Introducing Ice Cream Uploads, the coolest channel on Twitch that you've never heard of. Whilst most channels give you access to exclusive emotes in return for your subscription, ICU goes much further than that. All subscribers get access to the brand new subscriber-only areas in the ICU Discord, where you can speak with the stream team and also be entered into exclusive subscriber-only giveaways each and every month. Subscribers also get special birthday treatment with shoutouts in the Discord and on stream. Plus, you can choose to have the ICU social channels follow you on platforms of your choice for as long as you're a subscriber. But wait, there's more! You can get access to all of these added extras completely free of charge if you're a Twitch Prime user. Just don't forget to renew it every month. Don't worry if you're not in a position to subscribe. The Ice Cream Uploads team appreciates you giving up your time just to be part of the stream. That's why all viewers can make use of the revolutionary Sprinkles channel point system. The more you watch, the more sprinkles you get. And those can be traded in for social media shoutouts, VIP badges, Wall of Fame placements, and if you have enough points, you could even get a channel subscription absolutely free. If you're looking for a Twitch community that's scientifically proven to make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, then ICU is the one for you.
Subscribe online at twitch.tv/icecreamuploads. Twitch Prime subs are free for users that have Amazon Prime and have linked it to their account. Users on mobile can head to subs.twitch.tv to subscribe using paid subs or Twitch Prime. ICU broadcasts worldwide from one of our studios in Northwest England.
Could you say it again?
He feller in the White House.
I'll tell you what, that's a nice little flick on as Lewis from home. That's a bit of goal down. Oh, that's it! Oh, well done, boys!
I've worked for a few hours. Say hello to the family. Hello, goodness. Did you know just farted? That's not me. Not over the did you?
Very disappointing that I pushed it. I was talking too much. I was being a gobshite. Oh, and then he goes and pulls away shots like that. Yes, please.
As many attendees.
What was that?
Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing today? Welcome. And it shit itself. Okay, I was just checking. Just checking. See if it's fixed. Yeah. Fuck! See a bit. Good morning, everyone, for absolutely the first time today, not the second time at all. How are we all doing? Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Applause. The sound is good, I've just checked it. How are we all doing? Welcome into the stream. Apologies for anyone that may have joined because there is two instances of clickbait already on social media this morning. One of them is Epic getting a bailout, and the other one is me wearing a Power Rangers helmet. I'm not wearing it for the stream because that would be fucking stupid. But hey, how you doing? How you doing? Everyone who's in the chat, please feel free to let us know that you're here. Like Lake did about an hour ago when we first turned on the stream, 11 minutes ago. But cheers, Lake. Good morning, dude. SUP equals sub. Good morning, Plum Rico, Alrit. Tito says, morning, gents. Back to usual time. Graham must be back. You goddamn right. Although in my defense, we had a staff meeting and stuff this morning, so busy things. But yeah, it's also me. It's also me. David's here. Alrit, Plum Rico. Audio is fine now. Crystal clear now. Yeah. See, I'm trying a few different things. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you're probably not going to see much of the audio fucking up. But if you watch it on stream on Twitch, then you will see it. We occasionally start the stream and then restart the stream because the amount of sources that I have in Streamlabs, it just keeps creating what they call an audio hitch. So it literally sounds like that. The audio just sounds like someone's got a bag over the microphone and is wafting it around or something like that. It's well bizarre. Or I'm underwater. Pound and Wally is the technical term that the chat has created for it. So yeah, I was trying to do something then. So when we start the stream, we have 3 different video sources that play. So we have the ICU, what we call the infomercial, which is the video where you see like Bates and it starts off with, and you see Manny halfway through it, and it's basically what you get for subscribing to the channel. Then we have the countdown video, which runs for 3 minutes. Then we have the scoop intro, which is about 15 seconds-ish. So I was trying to kill those 3 sources on the stream deck when they were finishing to see if that helped it. And I don't know if that actually reminds the PC that those sources are there at the end, so that didn't help it at all. Anyway, basically, it seemed like it was going to be nice, and then we came in and it shit itself anyway, so nice. Moral of the story, don't have too many video sources, or too much of an intensive setup. It's nice that it looks exceptional, but you don't do that if you've not got OBS. Streamlabs OBS can't handle it. And Mr. Tharian Drake, 2 days in a row. Good evening, morning, both, again. How are we all doing? And Epic Skills here as well. Hey, welcome in. I have to ask, what have you been playing? Have we been playing? Has it been a creative session again? Do let us know. But thank you. Is that what it's been? Is that what it's been? Ah, okay. I haven't been playing. Okay. So I think Bibby might be right on that one. I was working on a comic. Correct. Point to Bib. GG's, Bib. GG's. Nice. But yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much. If anyone hasn't, please feel free to check out Tharian Drake's channel. He's quite good. Especially if you're in the UK, one of the things that you tend to find is that there's not a lot of choice of people early hours UK time to watch content wise. And one thing you kind of don't want is someone that's high octane, over the top, in your face, screaming. Which is why we don't start so early. There you go. No, but if you want someone that's just nice and relaxed to have with your brew, then check out Tharian Drake streams. It's just some good watches, whether he's playing or whether he's being creative. It's a nice start to the day, so go do it. Anyway, welcome in. For those of you who don't know, if you've just joined from the Tharian Drake raid, then my name is Graham. Hi, how you doing? This guy is BBM. Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. Anyway, we're here to bring you your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. And Bib's just had enough. He's off. He's letting the cat in. He's absolutely got to be letting the cat in. Or is he letting the cat out? Which one was it? I don't know. Anyway, but if you are live with us, we are going to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. And we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So if you are live with us in the chat, please feel free to get involved. We go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish. 10 a.m. ish. It's 11:14 ish. Anyway, we go live at 10 a.m. ish each and every single weekday. And if you do join us in the chat, please feel free to give us those aforementioned thoughts and impressions, because we could turn this live stream into a podcast, a video for YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So please feel free to get involved on behalf of everyone watching and listening on demand. Nice. Before we jump into the news, though, a couple of talking points. First things first, we mentioned it the other day. We mention it almost every day, but ! loot drop in the chat. If you want to drop a sub, if you've got a Prime Gaming sub, a free sub, it's not free because you pay for Prime, but you get what I'm on about, that's burning a hole in your pocket, or you just have nowhere to use it, then feel free to drop it on the channel, because it helps us keep the lights on. As Bibby says, keep the lights and mics on. So feel free to drop it on us. But not only do you help support us, you enter yourself into the loot drop by doing that. If you're in our Discord and you're a subscriber, you can win yourself a prize once a month. You won't get a prize once a month, but you get in the draw once a month. Spike won this month's prize, which was a copy of Outriders. We gave him Valheim or a game of his choice, and he already had Valheim, so he chose Outriders. Nice. So let's just leave it there. Hey, thanks for the love, boys. Hey, you're welcome. I'm drawing out all of my episodes of D&D. Nice. See, that could take you quite a long time. There's got to be a lot of volumes of the comic there. Nice. I'll make sure. I mean, I'm assuming you'll be on tomorrow anyway. Today, there was no way I could check out any streams. I tell a lie. I did drop into West's stream whilst I was absolutely not on the toilet, and 100% was doing something that's not involving toilets at all today. Did that this morning quickly, but then jumped into the staff meetings and stuff. But tomorrow I'll jump in and see. I'll see how the comments come along. Nice. That's if you're on tomorrow. If you're not, then I probably won't, because that's kind of how it works. Anyway, let's jump into the split screen. Some tasty news today, Bib. You've done some exceptional work once again on the thumbnail. That was a big old chug of tea. Absolute perfect timing.
Stuff, every ounce of my inner core just bursts into flames when I'm trying to do stuff like that. So I'm trying to go to the absolute extreme. $1 billion.
See, I think it's good. I mean, clickbaiting. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of clickbaiting. But like I said last week, you can clickbait for good and you can clickbait for evil. There are people out there that will just put clickbait that's just absolutely not even referenced in their content. Our stuff is relevant, but just doesn't give away the content before people get in, because that's kind of where clickbait came from. Clickbait is giving people enough bait to click the link. That's not a bad thing. That's selling. Hey, check this story out. This is cool. But in the contest to get people into articles, because everyone's fighting for your attention, people got seedier and shadier and shittier with their links. And we aren't shitty, but we give just enough of a taste. So it's good. I think it's good. You are very low, actually. Okay, now it's come back up again. Okay, say something else. Yeah. Let me kill your sources on Wavelink and Wavelink and restart them. Okay, give us words.
Okay, so just put in the chat
that's gotta be
the link that I've just seen. Was it really low?
It was. Would you like, before we went live, I said I need to kill my Wavelink, and I kept getting you to do your audio testing. It wasn't working quite properly, but it is now. You've got levels peaking, so I'm assuming that's good for everyone now, right? Bibby is very low. Sounds like he's on a speakerphone. Quietest I've ever heard Bibby.
That's it. That's a compliment.
I'm assuming it's fine because you're in the yellows now. You're not like bottom end greening kind of thing. So nice. Sorry, what were you saying then, Bib?
I said I've just put a link in the chat that I've come and stumbled across, and it's probably the best video gaming clip that you're ever going to see in your life.
Okay, let's watch this before we jump into some news. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm assuming it's safe for work because because Bibby's part of ice cream. He doesn't
I won't put it in there. Exactly, yeah. I ain't getting us taken off the air.
Okay, full screen in. Let's see. It's a Twitter vid, so it looks like a smashed lasagna. What game is this?
I have no idea.
It's just a wheel fucking. What
the fuck?
Oh my god, this is incredible.
It's literally got everything in that video on it.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
What the
It's a little hand on the chest. Oh, it's literally got. Listen, if you're listening to this on podcast, if you're listening to this on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play, please go over to our video on demand. Go onto YouTube or go onto Twitch and just watch this clip. There's no other way that you'll be able to watch it unless you go to our Twitters, because I've just retweeted it because it's fucking hilarious. That is absolutely worth a retweet. But just go and have a look at it. It's like 26 seconds. It'll change your life. It's fucking amazing.
It's just so much. It just keeps on giving as you go through.
Oh god.
Anyway, back in the room. Do you know, I have to go give that a personal retweet before we get there.
It's so smooth and casual as it just pulls up to a junction, just waits for the car in front to go, and it just goes to shit.
That is badass. I want to know what game that is. That is fucking amazing. Literally
I
20.
look through the comments, and someone said it's Beaming Drive on Steam.
Professional podcast, guys. It is a professional podcast. We can share stuff. This is fine. This is what we talk about. That's news from the world of video games. Anyway, all right, sorry, ads. God. Let's jump back into the news from the world of video games. As our first news story of the day, we did tease about it, talking about clickbait a second ago, but Epic Games secures $1 billion of funding, aka $1 billion bailout, including $200 million from Sony to support long-term vision for the metaverse. This is written by Tom Phillips at Eurogamer, and it says, Fortnite maker Epic Games has scooped together $1 billion in funding to help its long-term vision for the metaverse. A fifth of that, $200 million, comes from PlayStation owner Sony and will apparently cement its already close relationship with Epic further. In a press release, Epic listed more than a dozen non-gaming companies which had collectively pumped in that $1 billion. Sony, which frequently gives out free Fortnite cosmetics via PlayStation Plus, got a special mention. Quote, this round includes an additional $200 million strategic investment from Sony Group Corporation, Epic wrote, which builds on the already close relationship between the two companies and reinforces their shared mission to advance the state of the art in technology, entertainment, and socially connected online services. Epic said it was now worth $28.7 billion and noted its boss Tim Sweeney remained the controlling shareholder. Quote, "We are grateful to our new and existing investors who support our vision for Epic and the metaverse," Sweeney said. "Their investment will help accelerate our work around building connected social experiences in Fortnite, Rocket League, and Fall Guys, while empowering game developers and creators with Unreal Engine, Epic Online Services, and the Epic Games Store. While a metaverse similar to Ready Player One may still seem like a fantasy, Epic Games has been clear for years that this is where its sights are set. Fortnite has broken down platform holder walls around crossplay, brought together rival brands through collaborations, and seemingly no one except Nintendo is immune to being included. Earlier today, PlayStation announced its latest Fortnite collaboration, the arrival of Horizon Zero Dawn star Aloy following Kratos' debut last year. Just want to point out as well, I did call that last year. As soon as we saw the wild theme, I did call that. So, in the bag. For Fortnite, this is another big name joining its roster of film, TV, and gaming stars. For Sony, this will be Aloy's debut appearance on Nintendo and Xbox platforms, which is brilliant marketing exposure for the brand ahead of Horizon's upcoming sequel. $1 billion even bailout, Bib. Bailout. What are your thoughts?
I told you it was quite a stretch. But I mean, if you're looking for investment, your smart money investment is probably going to be within Fortnite. It's a game that will make money, I think, at least for the next 2 or 3 years until the bubble finally pops. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Not every game will last forever. The Battle Royale has taken the video game industry by storm. There's a reason there's 1,000,001 different Battle Royale games out there, whether or not it's a mobile top-down shooter like PUBG, whatever it is that you showed me the other day. that looked okay, but in terms of like Bullet Echo and Fortnite, Call of Duty's Warzone, because you can't just call it Warzone anymore. But Battle Royales are everywhere. So the smart investment would be the Funko Pop version, which is Fortnite, where you're collecting as many different skins as you possibly can, and people will always want to be playing in something that looks cool or something that they have an affiliation with, whether or not it be a franchise that they absolutely adore or what. Still yet to see a Resident Evil one in there, so I mean that'll probably boot me back into the game if I could get an RPD uniform or something like that. But yeah, the smart money, if you are Sony, would be to give them £200. Your return on investment is going to be quite big. If this was Dragon's Den, it's an absolute no-brainer. Everyone's fighting to put money into it. So for me, it's a worthy investment. But for how long? It says the long-term version for the metaverse. What we will never know their roadmap. We don't know how long they're planning to support this game for. I imagine until the money runs dry, which is obviously what's happened with this. I don't want to say the money's completely run dry, but when it comes to marketing, if they're having to do a fundraiser elsewhere, are they just looking for, I don't know, support? Can they not fund their own stuff? Can the £200 that they got from Sony, does that mean that Sony wanted to so they could use some of their characters in the video game in Fortnite further down the line? I don't know. We don't know their roadmap, but it's interesting that they've had to gather £1 billion worth of funding to support its long-term vision when they've been making money hand over fist for the last 3 years.
Well, for anyone who doesn't know what the metaverse is, to give you a hint, I've jumped back through to the previous article that was linked in that. This previous article was talking about Fortnite having Diplo and Major Lazer and a bunch of other brands, a bunch of other artists, plus there was some retail brands, I believe, dropping into the game as well. Oh no, that was a GTA one, actually. But basically, they have a lot of crossovers. They have a lot of commercial crossovers with the likes of Marvel. They've had Halo in there. They've had PlayStation games and so on within there as well. And this article talking about Fortnite having different modes and stuff. Where does it say it? But even this low-key launch is clearly the next stage of something far bigger. So this kind of relates to where we are now. Epic has been public about its desire to build Fortnite into a metaverse, a Ready Player One style persistent place where people and brands can interact in ways beyond those currently offered anywhere else in our existing digital lives. The next big step to doing that, I think, is getting rid of those guns, making the no combat party royale a significant twitch in Fortnite's evolutionary pupae. So basically, that article at the time was talking about the fact that points for the word pupae as well, because it sounds like a rude word. It's not, but it sounds like it is. Do you pronounce it pupae or pupa? I know it's sort of about the like lava sort of stages, but we'll just say pupae. Could be wrong. But yeah, that was Epic having a version of the game where you basically PlayStation did this previously. So Epic secures $1 billion in funding, 200 million of that from Sony. But that's kind of not surprising because if you go back to the PS2, does anyone ever remember PlayStation Home or whatever it was called, where you had your own avatar and you were strolling around in this real world and you were like, oh, this is crazy, but also I don't really understand why, because it was.
I watched a documentary on that the other day.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah, about how much money it actually made, and it wasn't that much to be able to build. Well, it cost a stupid amount of money to actually put out there, but they made more money hand over fist than people just walking around and having real life brands come into the game and supplement normal clothing for ones that people would buy £20. They would literally spend £20 for just one item of clothing way before Fortnite skins was even a thing. So that's kind of where they got the whole microtransaction business model. Is microtransactions before microtransactions were the thing?
Yeah, I mean that. It was kind of that time. Anyone who's old, like me and Bib, well, me a bit more than Bib, but you'll remember PlayStation Home. You might remember stories of Second Life. I never actually played Second Life. I think it was PC, and I was never a PC gamer 20 years ago-ish. But Second Life was basically that. It's an online open world MMO, effectively, without monsters and bad guys and villains. You basically just exist in the world, but digitally. That was it. It was Second Life. So say you live in a one-bedroom flat in London and it costs you an arm and a leg to live there. You really like a nice multi-million-pound house in Chelsea. Well, just go buy it in Second Life, because it's like an NFT. It's an NFTs 20 years ago. It's a piece of digital software that you can buy that no one else can buy. If they want that house, they have to buy it off you. So this kind of stuff, PlayStation have been doing this forever. So it doesn't surprise me that they've put 200 million into Epic's plans for that. The metaverse is a Fortnite idea, is an Epic idea. Epic the brand, not necessarily Epic the game, but I suppose it is an Epic idea, really. But whilst it is a Fortnite specific thing, Epic have been quite good at making things for Fortnite that they then extrapolate outwards. Their cross-party stuff you can get in other games. They've rolled it into Rocket League, which obviously they own now. But anyone that uses Epic's Unreal Engine can use those functions. You want a crossplay stuff, you can use Epic stuff. You want party lobby stuff and chat stuff, you can use that stuff. So this
Outriders does it now.
Exactly. Incredible stuff. So building a metaverse within Fortnite, i.e., a non-gaming part of the game, it's kind of bizarre, but in the last 12 months proves that there is definitely a need for that. I know the last 12 months have been a weird 12 months, but it still shows that we're in a world that is ever closer to a need for a digital landscape. Mr. Gary Clark! Hey! Don't know why that's not come up in my activity feed, but thank you very much for the sub. You beautiful guy.
Mine.
In Streamlabs, it's not. It has in Twitch.
Okay.
But yeah, 7 months. What a guy. Love you very much. Beautiful. I appreciate it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so PlayStation, they aren't new to this, and this last 12 months have proven that there is a need for digital landscapes for us to not just play, to not have goals and have aims and targets. If you play a game of PUBG, you have a goal to win. You play a racing game, you have a goal to come in first, and so on. Sometimes you just want to just chat, and we do that on Zoom and Teams and Discord and whatever. But having that within a video game, there's definitely digital walls to be broken down there. So Epic are looking at that, and Sony realizes that, do you know, actually, whilst it could be a lost cause, if there's anyone that's making technology advance right now, then Epic are the ones. So yeah, it's not a bad horse to get on. How many skins? 4 skins, says Ads. I don't know what you mean.
I can't believe I got baited for that.
Habbo Hotel. I don't know what Habbo Hotel is. I don't know what that is.
It was like a browser game. way back when. I'm talking like way back when.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I no idea. Lost on me. I'd probably found alcohol by that point in time, so I lost a few years of my life. So I don't know. Time for a bong says, yo, good morning. I'm assuming that was an introduction and not just like a favourite childhood toy from the 70s, 80s, and then came back in the 90s and 2000s. You don't mean the... No, nice, fine, nice. Bibby's beard fell off. What the fuck?
Oh, don't.
Go on, tell us, babe. Tell us,
There's
babe.
the whole thing yesterday. So, I knew I was going grey. Like, my beard was going grey, like, a couple of months ago. So, I decided yesterday my beard was just far too big. It was doing my head in. So, I went to trim it. So, I got to this part and I started trimming it, and it looked great. And then I looked underneath, and what looked like a massive bald patch underneath here. And I thought, for fuck's sake, right, okay, I'm going to straight it down the other side. And I got back to this side. And then rather than just doing what normal people would do and just rub the fingers through it, it was actually a massive grey patch, which says a lot for the colour of my skin and how pale I am. I genuinely thought that a grey patch was the colour of my skin. So I'm rubbing it and like, fuck's sake. So I'm going grey. I've got a massive grey patch there and a massive grey patch there. So sooner or later, it's going to come through to the whole part of my face. So I'll just have to get over the fat and just, yeah. When I grow it out, it's fine. It's fine. You can't even tell. But then as soon as you start to get down to the root, it's so blatant, so annoying.
Bibby, grab some Just for Men, says Gary.
Do they do it in ginger? I have never seen Just for Men for gingers. Have you? It's serious. It's like a goth driving. You never see a goth driving a car. I've never seen Just for Men for gingers.
It's called Ginge for Men. That's what it is. No one can tell with Ginge for Men gel.
There you go. That's why you're in marketing.
I can't take the credit for that. I mean, I can take the credit for the Ginge for Men, but the tune was from an actual Just for Men advert in the like 90s or something. One of those where you just get like a song that earworms you for the rest of time. It's one of those. By the way, if you want to see another Just for Men stream, then #ad. Although Just for Men, if you do want to get involved, you know, I've got a bit of a grey patch going there as well. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll take the money and look good while doing it. It's fine. It's good. Welcome to middle age. Never see a goth driving a car. That's the bit that tickled me. Yeah. I think I've heard that before, but still, it's one of those things that's just so visual. It just absolutely catches you off.
Yeah, literally, you just never see a goth driving a car. It's just one of them things.
Anyway, let's move ahead. So Epic has secured $1 billion of funding for the metaverse. So that is their gameplay experience. So having a social place in games before you go to play games. They've done that previously, as I mentioned, with branding, with advertising, with commercial crossovers, and just having casual non-gun oriented experiences. So they are clearly looking to build on that $1 billion of investment. So clearly taking it seriously. Anyway, let's move forward though. And I say move forward, let's actually move backwards. We did cover a story yesterday saying that Warzone has a court case. This was going to be an article that I was going to jump on at the end, but Bibby did mention it briefly within that, so I just jumped it forward. So if you didn't see the article yesterday, there was a game released in 2017 called Warzone, a mobile / browser-based game, and then 2 years later, / 3 years later, Call of Duty Warzone was released. And then fast forward another year on top of that, we get a little bit of a battle. Warzone, the original, thinks Call of Duty Warzone has infringed on its trademark. And we went through that yesterday. That leads us to the point where we are today with an update from Jody Macgregor at PC Gamer. It says, Warzone developer starts a GoFundMe for legal battle against Activision, who also have a game called Warzone. Subject line, you might have heard of it. Yeah, I think maybe. Quote... Hello, my name is Randy, and I'm being sued by Activision for being an indie game developer. That's how Randy Ficker, what a name, that's one typo away, literally it's right next to, he's one keystroke away from being Randy Fucker, that's incredible. Okay, that's how, are we back? It kind of seems like we might be-ish. Reloading the stream preview. It's still thinking about it. It seems like we're back. We're back. Yes, there's the stream preview. Bush. Nice. Okay, I will start from here. Again, I may be crossing some of the the ground previously. If we do, my bad. But do you know what? The stream shit itself. This is what happens when you work at home and stream with the world's. Not say the world's, the UK's #1 video game podcast, but from home in Salford, the internet just doesn't play well. So that's what it is. Anyway, Ficker launched Warzone in 2017. Activision launched Call of Duty Warzone in 2020. As Ficker says on his GoFundMe, the law is clear. If you use a name in commerce before someone else, they can't sue you to get the rights for that name. Meanwhile, Activision's complaint mentions that while Call of Duty Warzone isn't available on mobile devices, Defendant's Warzone is one of many games titled Warzone that are available on the internet as a browser-based game or on mobile distribution platforms. It then goes on to list 16 examples. However, the ones simply called Warzone all seem to post-date Ficker's game, while those released before it, like Anomaly, Warzone Earth from 2011, use variations on the name. It seems like Ficker may have been the first to simply call a game Warzone. Anomaly Warzone Earth is available on PC as well as mobile, by the way, and came out on Xbox Live Arcade in 2012. I mentioned this purely out of love of facts. Nice. The reason Activision's complaint makes such a big deal about Ficker's Warzone being available on mobile devices and in browsers is to establish that there's no risk of anyone mistaking the two. Quote, Call of Duty Warzone could not be more different from the Defendant's game, a low-budget, niche, virtual board game like Hasbro's Risk. Activision's legal team says, in honestly a kind of snide way, and quote, it is inconceivable that any member of the public could confuse the two products or believe that they are affiliated with or related to each other. Fickers disputes this. As evidence, he presents the Twitch category he created for Warzone, which clearly has his game's logo at the top. I had to scroll down past 25 people streaming Call of Duty Warzone and one Fortnite streamer to find a player streaming the game the category is supposed to be for. Hi, BioPilot17. Quote, the regular streamers of my game are frustrated by this, Ficker writes, but apparently it's inconceivable to Activision that this could happen. Ficker also mentions that he's been contacted by Call of Duty players about how their Xbox can't connect or how their PS4 got hacked, how they wish they could carry teammates, and that Activision's actions have buried us on Google and the app stores where we used to be the #1 result for our own name. And that's why he's raising money to take the publisher on in court, promising that 100% of the funds raised in this GoFundMe will be directly used in the legal fight against Activision. Right now, 431 people have donated, and Ficker has raised $12,094 of his $50,000 goal. Quite a substantial update in 24 hours. Yesterday we were like, oh, will it, won't it, oh. But now, 24 hours later, Activision could potentially be seeing this one in court, or at least having to settle. Bib, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've actually just done a little bit of digging myself and got onto Twitch, typed in Warzone in the search bar, and both of them are there. So there's Call of Duty, Warzone, and then there's one just called Warzone, and there's a lot of people streaming Call of Duty in that Warzone category. Now, that is nobody else's fault but the streamers themselves. There's two separate categories. People do this all the time. I always watch the sports category on Twitter, on Twitch, because it'll have like old school wrestling videos and stuff like that. And don't forget the frisbee disc golf coverage. That's 24 hours a day.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's incredible stuff. And people just stream like Fortnite randomly on there. Like you could go through and someone will be playing, I don't know, Fortnite, and then there might be a Call of Duty one or something along those lines. So it's the people who are looking after that are doing it wrong. However, do you think, well, the naming conventions are clearly similar enough for people to not pay attention and just type in Warzone and then click the first thing that comes up? Whose fault is that?
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, technically, if you're talking about specific instances, it's no different from someone typing in PES 2020 or PES 2021 and getting the wrong one kind of thingy in that sense. It's on the person that makes the mistake. But PES 2020 and PES 2021 are similar, but that's because they're meant to be similar.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it comes down to the... I wish Robo Daniel was in this morning because he'd probably be able to put the words together a bit better for it. The mistake is on those individual streamers, but that position for them to be in a position where they can make those mistakes, that could arguably be malicious. They could that could have been set up so that people do that on purpose. I mean, obviously, no one's heard of Warzone, the mobile game, but it's not a case of they don't have to prove whether that was done maliciously on purpose. It still unquestionably damages the brand. So if you look on their category and the majority of people playing something else, that unquestionably in a court of law would be damaging to their brand. And that's the thing where it's kind of interesting. Because they would never in a million years be able to contest with Activision and Call of Duty. Very, very few games can do. But it's interesting because whilst Call of Duty they've used World at War, they've used Warfare, they've used Warzone, they've used just different words. Should they not be able to use any of those words is one side of it, but the fact that they've used something that is so specific to another brand and effectively suffocated that, not intentionally, I highly doubt that Call of Duty gave this game a second thought. They just didn't even care. It's, all right, not bothered, but unintentionally will have suffocated the life out of it, and that's kind of where it's a weird sort of dance. It's
well, in the sports category, someone's streaming Football Manager and they've got a good setup, they've got a green screen, they've got all the overlays and stuff like that. How can you get that so wrong? Surely that's on the person. It's the same. Someone's streaming Valorant on there as well. That's not a mistake. No one's thinking, okay, Valorant, I'll type in sports and then go and stream on there.
Maybe they've changed game and not changed the title, kind of thing.
Maybe.
So, I mean, there is all sorts of different, like, if you take it on a case-by-case basis, there probably will be reasoning for that. The Warzone, for Call of Duty Warzone, I would, if I was going to Twitch category now, I was going to change our streaming category, and I was going to play Call of Duty Warzone, I would type WAR and then see what it brings up. And it would probably bring up Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, and whatever. And I would click on Call of Duty Warzone at that point. But I wouldn't begrudge anyone that does click on Warzone because it kind of makes sense. That's what everyone calls it. That's what Activision's first sentence of their blog calls it.
There is other categories on Twitch called Warzone as well. So you got obviously Call of Duty Warzone, Assault Ops Warzone, Warzone 2100, and Warzone World.
I think like the article kind of touched on that, where it says like Call of Duty Activision's team referenced 16 examples of other games that have the name Warzone in it, but they all have variations of the name. So Warzone Earth is not just Warzone. I think the issue is Call of Duty as a result of being Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and everyone drops the moniker. And even as we saw yesterday, Call of Duty drops their trademark moniker and just calls it Warzone, and that makes it a like-for-like counterpart. Nothing else is just called Warzone.
Yeah.
Which
called Assault Ops Warzone.
Right now, nobody would release a new game called Warzone, not because of the mobile game, but because of Call of Duty Warzone. They'd be like, well, there's no point because that's going to kill my game. So going and potentially for copyright reasons as well, trademarking reasons, they probably think, okay, well, Call of Duty's got the trademark. Whereas in reality, Call of Duty don't, because Warzone, mobile, low budget, niche, desktop, risk-alike, fucking browser/mobile game has that. So I still, as much as I'm, which game am I going to play? Call of Duty Warzone. Which game am I never, ever, ever going to install or load up? Mobile Warzone thing from 2017. Which one benefits me? Call of Duty Warzone. But which one do I side with? I still feel like it's a case of Call of Duty haven't done their due diligence there. I still feel like they have overstepped and they've suffocated another game. And this guy's probably got, it's almost like the clouds have opened for him. He's got a mobile game that released in 2017 that isn't really doing anything, and all of a sudden this cash cow has just gone, hey, we've made a mistake, here's $1 billion. And I kind of feel like that's what it is, but that is what it is, because those laws are there to protect brands that do get suffocated. Just because it's not a game for me doesn't necessarily mean it's a game that I yeah, I don't feel like they should be exempt from the rules because I'm not going to play it. So I still feel like it's a difficult one for Activision. And I did think, okay, well, Activision's going to have all the lawyers in the world, but if this guy's got 12 grand already in 24 hours and his target's 50 grand, I can see him getting that pretty easily.
Do you think it's a waste of money though? Like, all things aside, for gut instinct, if they was to raise the 50k, they've got 12 already, like I said, in 24 hours. Do you think it's going to be worth their time and investment?
I would say yes, because the game came out in 2017. It's 4 years ago. They're not really doing anything with that anymore. They're clearly not going to take on the world because it's been out for 4 years. So it's getting publicity, no doubt, anyway, from this. I bet they've had more installs this week than they've ever had overall. That 50 grand isn't coming out of his pocket. It's coming out of a GoFundMe. So, okay, I'm wasting time on it, but that time is marketing, which will get more installs and will make more money for me. And I genuinely see that this being a settlement. I don't see it going to court. I think they will, if he gets the money and pushes it, Activision will go, well, fuck. Okay, we called his bluff. He's called our bluff, so we're just gonna have to pay to settle it. Let's give him 500 million or something. I don't know what the fucking number is, and then it'll just go away.
Imagine if they go to court though, and they've obviously got the 50k. They're sat alongside their lawyers, and then the opposite side is Activision with all their lawyers, and then the guy just looks down at his piece of paper and goes, "Oh shit, we didn't trademark our name."
Oh no.
And it all just goes out of the window. All the money that you pulled together will just go on fees that you've ended up spending to get there, regardless of whatever it is that you're going to be charging. Like, they must have something up their sleeve.
I think it's
to be able to go this far.
It's probably better for both if it gets settled, because if he gets to court and then it's like, okay, well, what are you suing for? $1 billion. Okay, why $1 billion? Because you can sue for a number, but that number has to be logical. It has to sue. It has to cover financial losses plus potential future losses, and then damage of reputation and what you imagine that could be. But if this game has only earned 60 grand, then okay, well, we're spending 50 grand and we are filing for 100 grand. Oh, great, nice. So if it does go to court, I could see that just being a massive expense for everyone. I could see this being better for Activision to just go, look, it's a game that's not done much. If anything, our coverage has created a bit for it, so we'll give you $1 million. Because Activision will make $1 million in no time. They'll make that, if not daily, I'd say they're making that weekly at least. Because I mean, if Fortnite on skins can earn, what was it? It was like 5, 6, 7
million or something. Overall, that's what the game's worth.
What, 28 billion? Oh.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, at its peak though, wasn't it making like 7 million a day or something like that? I know it's not at its peak and it's more, and neither is Warzone. But Warzone's got a big update coming on the 21st, I think it is. So that'll earn a shitload of money. We'll just go, okay, we'll just chisel a little bit off of that to shut him up. Nice, there we go, job done. Ta-da! And I think that's how it's going to end. If he's getting the 50 grand, it's being filed. Whether it actually makes it to court or not, I don't think it will. I think they will settle. I think they will pay him off. And I think this is, even if it is someone just going for a payday, it's a payday that I still side with. I think that this is something that kind of needs to happen, even if he's just doing it for greed reasons and he's not actually asked about the future of his game and his title. If he does settle it, that shows that he's not asked about the future of his game, because it's dead anyway. But I still feel like, yeah, even still, the precedent of letting this go would kind of be harsh on indie developers that may have had a game and had some success and then got all of their business squashed going forward. So I still kind of side with the little man in this case. It's a grey area, just like Bibby's facial hair, says Gary. And mine. Yeah, I know. Activision should just pay them off. They're minted, says Time for a Bong. Hey, Jojo Leem! After a very long hiatus, I am back. Welcome back. How are you? Welcome in. How's things? How did all the exams and stuff go? Although that feels like an absolute lifetime ago now. Welcome in, dude. There's also that idiot in a hurry market employer that was mentioned in an episode of QI, where stuff is marketed and named in such a way to draw the ignorant, like a red drinks can is linked to cola in your mind, whether it is or not a Coke. Exactly. I mean, that's kind of that kind of works both ways in terms of like now he's calling his game Warzone. Are people going to start searching for that? Will that start search better? Will people play that thinking it is that? But vice versa, is he saying? Could we say that they've called their name Warzone to lead the ignorant away from his mobile game? I mean, it's an actual thing. It's not likely because Call of Duty, once again, is a bigger brand than Warzone is. As Graham attacks his microphone. So, yeah, no, I agree. Season 3, soon millions for Activision. Yeah, absolutely. If the shoe was on the other foot, no doubt Activision would be doing the same. Absolutely. And in the article that we covered yesterday, SBMM Warzone, a website that was there to provide support to their community. That's what it was. It wasn't taking anything away from the game. It was helping satisfy the needs of the community. I mean, obviously, it can be exploited for people to get shitty lobbies or cheaty lobbies or something someone was saying in the chat. I don't know the full extent. I don't use it. I don't play it. But the aim of it was to be for the community. They wanted to work with Activision to get it to work, and they just shut it down. So Activision 100% would go after them. Copywriting is, for the most part, effing ridiculous. Very, very much so. Very much so. Anyway, that's enough ridiculousness for one day. Let's move ahead. Have you got a PS5, babe?
I most certainly have. Oh, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, you need to turn it on.
Go carry on.
Yeah, I do too. I think we all do. Anyone with a PS5, make sure you get it turned on. Maybe not now because you'll cause the stream to die. It's already done that once already, so we don't need to give it any more excuse to do that. But if you do have a PS5, turn it on because PS5's first major firmware update this year arrives tomorrow. It's actually today, so it's out now, and it adds USB storage. The PlayStation 5 is finally getting cold storage, along with a few other welcome additions. This is written by Sherif Saed at VG247, and it goes on to say, Sony has unveiled 2021's first major firmware update, coming to all PlayStation 5 consoles tomorrow, April the 14th. Among the biggest update, among the update's biggest additions is making it possible to use external USB storage with the console. USB storage can be used to store and play PS4 games or save cold store PS5 games for later use. PS5 games would need to be copied back to the console's internal drive when you want to play them, similar to Microsoft's solution with the Xbox Series X and S. Unfortunately for PS5 games, the transfer process can only be performed once games are downloaded to the internal drive. In other words, you can't directly download PS5 games to USB storage. Games will automatically update once they're copied back to the internal drive, and the transfer back will also give you the option to install certain modes or the whole package in games that offer that ability. The PS5's game-based menu has also seen several improvements. I've not seen these yet. I'm just going to say woohoo because it kind of needs it. To make it easier to access important content. Game-based now lets you switch between parties and your friends list. You can also disable in-game voice chat entirely or adjust the volume of individual users in each session. Another impactful feature is the ability to pre-download game updates for games that support it. Where possible, you'll be able to pre-download major patches to your games if your console is on or in rest mode. The game library screen has been enhanced with a search feature, and you'll even be able to hide games. Tomorrow's update brings some nice tweaks to trophies too. You can now control which level of trophy triggers an automatic screenshot/video capture. There's also a new trophy stat screen with a more concise look at your level. Another great arrival is share play support, enabling PS4 and PS5 players to share together while in parties. This essentially allows non-owners of PS5 to try out those games on their PS4 so long as they're doing it with a friend in the same party. All other share play features such as adding virtual controllers, passing the controller, and so on will also work. If you're eager to join a friend's game, there is now a request to join option which lets you send a request to a friend with an open game session, essentially a reverse invite. The PlayStation app is due for a similar update in the coming weeks, which is going to make it possible to join a session on PS5 from the app, manage console storage, compare trophy stats, and filter products in the PlayStation Store. Woo! Big old update.
Yeah.
Bib, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I think the PlayStation 4 menus worked. In my opinion, they did get a bit chuggy towards the end, but the worked. They did everything that you needed to do. How many people, hands up in the chat, still hold down their PlayStation button to access their menu overlay?
Do I put both hands up or do I just put one? Because yeah, all the fucking time.
Like your mind is so fixated into what a controller feels like and where you press the buttons, because all the buttons are still in the same place as the was on the old controllers. it doesn't. The overlays and menus just don't seem to be as good or as slick as the old ones. Hopefully, this will bring a new lease of life to the menus, because albeit they look very, very nice. I like the tiles. I like the layout. I like everything about it. It just doesn't work as well as the PlayStation 4 did. It looks better than those. It just doesn't work as well. It's all about function. It's always function over fashion. There's a lot of people it's the other way around, but it's always function over fashion. So if it looks good, fine. Is it usable? Not really. Like when you go to I've recently reinstalled all my Resident Evil games on my PlayStation 5 so I can go through them again. It took an absolute age to be able to find them because I can't do user search. When you go into the library, it's just all in alphabetical order, so you have to try and find them all through there. It's just not as good as the old PlayStation 4 menus. Hopefully this will be a step in the right direction. The whole party system is a joke. And finding your friends and lists is, again, an absolute joke. So, again, said it 3 times now. Hopefully this will be an improvement somewhere down the line.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I may have used this example before when we spoke about it. If not, it's fresh. If I have said it before, then, well, do you know what? It clearly still stands. But I remember seeing it was an example of UI versus UX. No, design versus UX, should I say. So the design, and it gave you a path, and I can't remember, it may have even been a German guy who used to be part of the PES community called Marvin Ronsdorf. I weirdly attribute it to him, and it might not have been. It might have just been someone else that's German. And that's me basically saying they're all the same. Great, nice one, Graham. Great, good plan. That's not what I'm saying, but we'll attribute it to Marv anyway because he's a creative guy. And it was basically, imagine you've got a nice public precinct. So say like, I don't know, a road with a crossing, some paths, a nice bit of grass patching and stuff. And it was effectively like an L-shaped corner with a grass patch. And you're in one corner and you want to get to the other corner, but you've got grass through the middle. And it showed you like a really nice designed path going around this patch of grass. And that, with an arrow pointing to it, said design. And then it showed you like a dirt track that people had trodden through the grass and killed the grass going through the middle. And it was like UX. And that's the difference. That's the PS5. The PS5 gives you this absolutely stunning design, this well-designed path that's got like stones and it's got like a nice little edging bit, and I don't know, maybe a couple of bits of bark or some sprinkles of stoning going around the edge. Nice, they're beautiful, but then absolutely kills the path going through the middle because users go, okay, that's lovely, but it doesn't work. I have to go all the way fecking around the houses to get to point B. Why can't I just go straight through the middle like I used to do, like it was before? Yeah. And that's where they need to fix it. Okay, have the bells and whistles, make it look nice, but make it more functional. And we all knew. None of us said that PlayStation had completely dropped the bollock and will not fix this. We all said it will get fixed, but we're now getting there. We finally have our first major firmware update, and it does bring a lot. I mean, the USB storage is big. But it's kind of irrelevant to me because I'm not playing that much on it. I'm not having to delete things or move things around. So I was like, oh, okay, well, it's big, but I'm not bothered. Not really bothered. If that's all it is. But then as we go through the article and the fact that they are tweaking the game base, you can pre-download updates. You can search for games in the game library. The trophy support has been improved, as well as share play and adding request to join and making it more compatible with the PlayStation app. This is good. I like it. Don't stop. Keep coming. We want more. Okay, that path going through the middle of the grass. Yeah, there's a little bit less need for that now, but there's still a bit of a need for it. Keep improving it. Get us where we need to be, and then nice. But yeah, the UI looks incredible. As Gary says, the PS5 UI is a mess and a half. Whilst it looks incredible, it is a mess and a half. It's super fast. Anyone playing Call of Duty Warzone on a PS4, even a PS4 Pro, and then trying to go, I don't know, send someone a game invite. You go press your hold your middle button kind of thing or whatever, or press it, and you get the clunk, blunk, blunk, blunk as it flicks through the menu. Oh, for fuck's sake! I just want to send someone an invite. Why is it? So now it's like yeah, super quick through the menus. This is all. I know. It's actually me doing it with my mouth. I know it sounds like real game sound effects. If you're listening on demand, it's not. It's my mouth. It's not the game. I know it sounds so good. But those The menus they're so rapid on PS5, but they need to be because you have 27 extra presses to get to where you need to be. So nice. GG's PlayStation. We'll have a bit more of that. Thank you very much. I don't have a PS5 or a new Series X. Bonsai leaves the room. Oh, my bad, Bonsai. There's more potentially coming this week, though, I think. I haven't been paying attention to them as much because I have two PS5s. That wasn't a humble brag. That was me just being a dick. I think there are more coming this week. I keep seeing PS5 stock updates saying that more are coming. I did think I saw something about Amazon may have had some stuff scheduled, but has been put back to next week or something. But there will be. What we've seen previously is when you know that Amazon has it, everyone else has it as well in the same week. So if you're after it, keep your eyes out. When we get something that gives you a little bit of a concrete date and time, just make sure you're up at 8 o'clock in the morning for a few days in a row, because that way you get it 8:30, 9 o'clock, boom, get first.
Gag got one.
Did I? Hey,
he got one through BT of all places. I didn't investigate. He just posted a picture. He was very, very happy with his PlayStation 5, as he should be as well. He said he got it through BT. I'm not sure if it was like he was just the phone upgrading his broadband.
Have you got a PS5, mate?
yeah, he was just asking everyone. He goes to his local corner shop and they're like, "Yeah, we've got some right next to the bottled wine at the top." But yeah, he's managed to secure one. I'm very, very happy for him.
I did see that PS5 stock updates tweeted something last week. It may have been IGN UK Deals tweeted something last week saying BT. Actually, no, I think it might have been even Chris Scullion or Dan Dawkins from the games industry journo side of things basically said that unlikely source, but BT are giving consoles away. If you are a BT customer, check your emails, because they had basically a specific code for you and you alone, and if you went and used that code, you could have got a guaranteed PS5 for you. You had a certain amount of time to use it, and if you didn't use it, then obviously it expired or moved on to someone else. But love that idea. I mean, obviously there's all sorts of questions that are raised about how did they decide who got them and when, but forget all of that stuff first and just taking it at face value. The fact that it's like, okay, do you want a PS5? If you do, we've got one for you because you're a loyal customer. Boom, there you go. Nice. Customer loyalty being rewarded, and it's not just a case of see if we can sell them all quickly online to scalpers because we get the money anyway. Nice, you like to see it. You love to see that.
In the chat.
I have BT broadband, got it for my son. PC only for me. Oh, did you get the email? Is that what it was? Was it that kind of thing? Because I did see that the other day. They sent emails out to people saying that customers could get a PS5 guaranteed kind of thing. If you want one, we've got one for you, kind of thing. Gary does do the long button press as opposed to the middle button press. Yep, I do. That muscle memory is strong. It absolutely is. Absolutely is. I'm good, mate. I still have my 1X. It's not blown up yet anyway, says Bonsai. It's all right. It's fine. And you're still trashing people on PUBG with it every day. I keep seeing the Insta clips, so that makes sense. No, stick with it. BT sell PS5s. The fuck? There you go. I mean, it's not too strange because EE have been selling them for the past... since launch, EE keep doing EE-only sales drops. So if you're an EE customer, then you can get a PS5 through EE only, and they're also doing it as recruitment drops, as in sign up to EE and you can buy a PS5 from us, which is amazing. If you think of it, like a few years ago, it was like sign up to EE and we'll give you a PS4 for free, and now it's like sign up to EE and we'll allow you to buy a PS5. It shows you what kind of weird times we're in right now. I registered for it months ago, says Gag. I'd got the email last week. Nice. Remember the classic buy a mobile phone contract and get a free 32-inch TV for 90 quid a month? Yeah, now it's just register and will allow you to spend money in one lump sum. Great. I had the money available and saved for the Series X, but I've not had to use those funds. But I've had to use those funds for a private test for my son, and that obviously comes first. But at the moment I do get the Series X, I'll be sure to scream and shout like a child. Well, do you know what? Props for the parent game. We like the strong parent game. Sacrificing the Series X for the childlings. GG's, mate. GG's. But you'll get one soon enough. And then it'll all be worthwhile, and you'll have a nice, healthy son to play with you. Job's a good one. I know a lot of you guys have.
I won't be doing that.
I should also.
Your last gen.
I know a lot of you guys have the PS5, but overall, are you happy with the console? I am. Do I feel like I'm playing on a PS5? No. I don't. Do I feel like I'm playing on a better PS4? Yes, I do. So I'm happy with it because it's better than what I had previously. Is it worth the money just yet? Not. I mean, yes. When I was playing Spider-Man Remastered, it was worth it. But most of the stuff that I've been playing has been PS4 versions. So I don't think that's unfair on the PS5. I think that's just the state of the conversion to next gen that we have on this gen. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Like I said, it's not getting its money's worth just yet, but it's for the speed and for the convenience and everything. Then yeah, I can't fault it at all. I'm happy enough with it.
I love mine. The games that I play that had really slow menus, it just speeds through them now. Like as soon as I press play now, it's going to load me back into Resident Evil Revelations 2 from right where I left off without having to fanny about 2 seconds back in the game. Like I absolutely love my console.
Do you know what? I think the reason that
it doesn't sound like a jet engine.
Oh yeah, there is that. I think the reason that you enjoy it though is because of that pace. I think that's maybe because you're an older gamer, babe. What do you think?
Nice segue, Graham.
Hey, okay, jumping into the next bit of news. The number of older gamers is rising. New research finds, this is written by Don Peppiatt of VG247, new data suggests that gamers are getting older, with more people in the 55 to 64 age bracket playing video games than ever before. I'm going to stop for just a second. Do you know what? This is actually one of my biggest fears. I'm not asked about getting old. It happens. My biggest fear is a lot of the gameplay experiences that I like single player experiences. That's wonderful, but when you get old, you lose manual dexterity. Just generally, you get a bit slower. But obviously, when things like arthritis and so on step in, you could lose motor functions entirely. Not entirely. I mean, you can lose them entirely, but a lot of people won't lose them entirely. But in terms of multiplayer gaming, if you lose a good chunk of it, then you might as well have lost all of it, kind of thing. So that is kind of my biggest fear there. Anyway, that's completely off tangent. I don't know if it mentions any of that in this, but let's jump back in. A new report from market and research firm Global Web Index revealed that 55 to 64 demographic has grown 32% since 2018, thanks to gamesindustry.biz for the news. It's linked in the article. That's a growth of just under a third in 3 years. We've seen various factors play into the changing face of the gaming audience lately, whether it's the increase of the number of mobile gamers or the amount of people tempted to play games thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. There's been some major and fairly rapid changes to the global gaming population. This study in particular used a sample size of just under 19,500 people from various regions around the world. As per the GWI report, a massive 86% of people that have an internet connection use the web to play games, with 24% of grandparents and parents noting that they view gaming with their relatives as family time. Quote, gamers are often portrayed in the media in a certain way, but as with many stereotypes, they aren't necessarily who you think they are, noted David Mealy, VP of Sports and Gaming at Global Web Index to gamesindustry.biz. It's no surprise that the gaming audience is getting older. After all, gaming kicked off properly decades ago now, and users that fell in love with the hobby back then will now be aging and maturing gracefully like fine wine. Yes, I am. Better yet, it's proven that gaming can keep elderly people's brains sharp and train people to multitask better as they get older. If you want to age gracefully and keep your wits about you, though, you may want to avoid what research has dubbed the most stressful games you can play. Nice. I appreciate that. That nice cheesy line to get you to read another article on the website. That's better. I like that. Not just the. Also, we mentioned this about the Xbox, which is not really relevant at all, but it mentions Xbox. That was quite good. Nice. So, gamers getting older. Is that a shock, babe?
Absolutely not. I've just Googled the exact date of when the NES came out, and it was July 15th, 1983. So imagine you was 15 years old then. I'm not very good at maths, but I would at least say you're well over 50 now. Is that right?
83, if you... it would make you 52? Is that what it is? It's probably not that.
Yeah, like my maths is so bad. I'm trying to find an age calculator, but yeah, I would say you are well into your 50s by then.
It's not 52,
if you was 15 at the time.
I don't fucking know. How old am I? I was 85. I'm 35, so 85 plus 15 would make me 50. Yeah, 52. Hey!
Yeah. Well done.
And if it's not 52, let's pretend it's 52, so it doesn't hurt my maths brain. That's fine.
That's just using 15 as a base for playing video games, because everyone just assumes that when you say you play video games, you are a teenager. So we'll go with 15. So you're 52 now. Your time may change because you've had kids, you've had a job and stuff like that. But who's to say that your favorite thing to do then and now is still to play video games? I can't see me stopping playing video games or anything really. It's a hobby. It's now my job. However,
it's a jobby.
Even if if I was to have children, I don't have any now. I'm 30 years old. My priorities would change, and I probably would spend less time gaming. I mean, at this moment in time, I'm not playing many games anyway. I'm just playing golf. But my priorities would change, and I probably wouldn't play as much. However, I wouldn't stop altogether. I'd find different ways. I'd probably invest more time in a handheld like my Nintendo Switch. Just because you get older doesn't mean that you don't want to play those things anymore. Because at the end of the day, it is a hobby. So this shouldn't be news. I don't think I needed to do a survey of how old people are to know that there is still a lot of people out there that are older than me. My granddad's 75, I think, and he still plays on his consoles. He still plays his Xbox 360 every other day at least. Whether or not we're playing Battlefield, Call of Duty, or whatever it is, he's the one that got me into video games when I was a little kid. To playing through Super Mario World and stuff like that, and Streets of Rage. He's the person that got me into it. Just because he's older now doesn't mean that he stopped playing them. Very, very cool story. My nan once locked him in the conservatory because it was 1:30 a.m. and he wouldn't leave playing Medal of Honor Underground. He had work in the morning. My nan said he'd come up. He said no. She locked him in the conservatory, so he carried on playing all night. But it's just because you're older doesn't mean that you necessarily want to stop playing altogether. You don't grow up. You grow up, but your priorities change. I don't think I needed to write a survey or go through 1,000 people to find out if I still play video games. There is still, if you're in the industry or you play video games, you know that there's going to be people out there that are playing it. So it feels like a bit of a moot point, but it's video games. If that's your hobby and that's what you enjoy, a lot of the times nowadays, the storytelling in video games is much better than what you see in the cinema. Because in the cinema, it's just regurgitated shit. I watched Thunder Force yesterday. It's okay. It's just a superhero film. When you pretty much seen one superhero film, you pretty much seen them all.
The reason I've not watched it yet is because same analogy, but when you've seen one Melissa McCarthy film, you've seen them all. That was my sort.
I love her though.
I
love Melissa McCarthy.
I kind of do, and I say that in terms of I'm probably being a bit harsh because I find her funny as fuck when I've seen it, but it's just the same character and the same comedy over and over again. I don't know, maybe I'm just being old and a bit more snooty now. So watching her in Bridesmaids and stuff like that, pissing myself. And then there was that other thing with Sandra Bullock or whatever, and there's been a bunch of others.
Spy in the Heat, two of my favourite films. I love those.
So, but I just, it's the same comedy over and over again now. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's her husband who writes them all. That's why. Her husband appears in all of the films. He's the one that writes them. So every time he writes a new film, he just thinks, I'll just put my wife in there.
I mean, it's understandable. I mean, who can I pay a bajillion pounds to? Do I pay a bajillion pounds to an actress or the missus? Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, they're both millionaires together. Why not? But yeah, this survey, albeit it's nice for the outside world to know that people, it's shifting. I think I seen Vicky Blake tweet this yesterday about there should be more people in journalism, video game journalism. Would I absolutely agree with this because mine and your takes on video games are completely different, even though there's only a couple of years between us. But the demographic of older people getting into journalism for video games, I think that would be a very good move rather than being aged out like the Radio 1 situation. You reach a certain age and then you get kicked off the show. You move down to Radio 2, 3, 4, and they get someone younger, cooler who may be social media famous. Having those people move into areas which other people or older generations, I don't want to use older generation, it's horrible, like older people who are older than me, read those things, that will be a step in the right direction rather than just binning them off altogether because they don't have a voice anymore. I feel like the gaming industry should change and evolve with the people who were there, not as founding fathers, but are people who have been playing the games 20 years longer than I have, 30 years longer than my brother has, 40 years longer than whatever, if I end up having a child somewhere down the line. So taking all of the inspiration from those and their learnings, I think the video games can evolve into a better situation rather than just binning them off altogether.
I agree, and it's good to see that there has been some changing in that area over the last 10 years or so. Like, I didn't like to be packaged as gaming dad. And there was a few people, like a few channels and a few content creators that were like, gaming dads. And I felt it was kind of naff because 10 years ago, if you were a gamer dad, what you were was someone that liked games. And here's all the different Nintendo and Mario games you can play with your kids. And it's like, no, I'm a dad. But that's not just all I am. I want to play stuff as well. Whereas now, it's kind of matured to the point where you'll see people, like, I've never actually watched his live stream stuff, but there is I say local. He's a Manchester-based streamer. I think he streams on Facebook. But someone called Average Dad, and every time I'm seeing him playing stuff or tweeting about stuff, he's tweeting about Warzone or something else, and it's like, yeah, okay, well, that's the kind of games that dads want to play, not necessarily just the games with your kids and family games. Dads also want to be people, and I like the way that being a gamer dad has evolved from just being, okay, you're a dad, so let's just look at your paternal functions, to, okay, you're a gamer dad. That's almost a cultural, demographic, social. You are 25-ish plus, and obviously I was younger than 25 when I became a dad, but you are 25-ish plus. That could be 25 to 55 or whatever, and you were a gaming dad. And I like how it's kind of changed in that sort of sense now. But yeah, whilst content creators have changed with that, journalism definitely hasn't. There is no it's all VG 24/7, the gamer and something, which writes for everyone but isn't necessarily tailored for older audiences. But then again, I suppose it's difficult as a publication. How if you just tailor for dads, then you lose mums, you lose kids, so you instantly lose things off. So it is difficult. It's interesting. Interesting. It doesn't surprise me though that 32% more people over the age of 55 are playing games now. Well, 55 to 64. That area has grown by 32%. Doesn't surprise me, because 12 months ago, me and Bibby were saying how it's nice to see something that I mean, yeah, you go back 20 years and video games as being cool, but when you're in that 20 years ago sort of time frame, video games was also still sweaty neckbeard stuff. You do it in a dark basement, chugging on energy drinks and stuff like that. That's a gamer. Yeah, you lose a nerdy stuff. And yes, obviously that's evolved and changed over time. But 12 months ago, it was like for the mainstream, it was like the epiphany that actually we know video games are cool, because if you go back 12 months ago, the world had the Fortnite boom. Everyone knew what Ninja was and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I know what a ninja is. He streams on the Twitch. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So the world had kind of come a bit wiser, but the pandemic kind of forced gaming to be actually give it a proper fair shout. So it doesn't surprise me at all that area's grown. It doesn't surprise me that it's grown so rapidly. I like to see it, but yeah, there you go. All I'm saying is, if you're aged 55 to 64, you can get a discounted sub just by no, you can't really. It's full price. It's full price. You don't get any OAP discount. I'm sorry, I'm lying. But yeah, do you know what? It's nice. I like the idea, because if there's more people in that demographic playing, then there will be more people catering for that demographic. There will be more content made that is accessible for that demographic. Not that everyone over 55 is disabled, but statistically, there's probably going to be more people that have less motor functions in that category than 20 to 30 categories, which is excellent news for me, because I'm 20 years away from being in that category. So by the time I get there, I might still be able to play video games.
It comes around quick as well.
Yeah, exactly. 20 years ago. It seems like 5 minutes ago in my mind. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It still feels like every other day. Like, it just feels like I left school yesterday, and I'm 30 years old now. I left 14 years ago. I left school. It doesn't feel that long at all. It's criminal.
It's like when you see those meme posts. Like, there was one I think I saw last week, and it was like, this is what Final Fantasy in your mind looked like 15 years ago, and it's like little sprites on the NES kind of thing like that. And it's like, this is actually what it was like 15 years ago, and it's Final Fantasy X full 3D stuff. Like, you're like, fuck. That was damn. Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks. But anyway, welcome in, Warnock. How are you doing? Well, let's scroll back up a little bit. I'm probably the oldest in the room at 48, says Plum Rico. You might be surprised. We do have a few older people, which is nice to have. It's nice to have a mix. Where do we get to? I'm the same age as Nintendo. Nice one. So it's time for a bong. Well, actually, Nintendo are well old. They used to make like playing cards and things. So Nintendo, not quite the same. So you're younger than Nintendo. Not younger than Nintendo's gaming side, but yeah, nice. It means something different in Scottish, does jobby? I know it does. That's what I was saying it when he said job and hobby. I was like jobby, because I use the word as a Northern Englishman. A jobby is it's a thing. Like passes the remote jobby, as in the remote control, passes that controller jobby. Oh, where's that jobby thing that you had? Whatever. Whereas I remember mentioning it. I think it was when we were at Celtic for a PES event, and I mentioned jobby, and Crispo or someone said, "You do know what jobby is, don't you?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Jobby's a shit." I was like, "What? Is it?" He's like, "Yeah." So anyway, fast forward about 2 weeks after that, we had Score Against Cancer, which was a PES live stream from our studio. We did a charity stream, and hashtag Graham Day is a jobby started trending because Crispo donated to cancer with that, and that came up on the screen. So Graham Day is a jobby. So I know what jobby is because it's me. I'll never stop playing. I love gaming, and my kids do too. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. I used to play games when kids were asleep. So it's time for a bong. I mean, I used to play games when Chloe was months old, just because that was the only way. Like we'd have to do shifts, so that was kind of like a distraction thing. But I've always played games, and now she's 11. She's better at Fortnite than I ever will be. So it's like it's good to play games with her now. Although she loved the idea of playing PUBG 2 or 3 years ago. PUBG's now old, and she didn't care about it anymore to her. So she's fully into Fortnite. But yeah, it's good. Yeah. As one of the older gaming generation, I can say that it's great to be able to game with my 12 and 14-year-old sons. Absolutely feels for sure. What do they class as games? Because Dad was doing online games and Facebook, mainly the bingo and casino ones. I mean, I'd still class them. It's not quite the same because bingo and casino stuff, you'd say that's, whilst it's kind of gaming, it's gambling gaming kind of thing. The word gaming is used in gambling and video gaming senses. I'd say that's kind of it's electrified and digital, but it's more gambling. But yeah, close. I'm old, not as old as Bibby's granddad, but still play games. Yeah, exactly. I don't really like her One Trick Pony. Is that Melissa McCarthy? I mean, like I say, if I put a Melissa McCarthy film on, I'd probably enjoy it. But I'm at the point now where I've seen it enough that it's kind of she's getting pigeonholed in my mind as to I know what sort of jokes and humour's coming into it. Not that it's bad. Some people will still hugely enjoy it. I know a lot of people that have said Thunder Force was really good. Bibby's actually the first person that I've heard that's seen it that's not said it's really good. He said it was okay. Always had a never let them win attitude with them. Not a mean dad, but when they did win, it really meant something to them. They hand me at FIFA and COD now. See, I'm too much of a wet lettuce in that sort of sense. I want to give them the feeling of being decent, so I will give them a good game, but often will let them win. Well, when they were younger, I would let them kind of win to give them the feeling of yeah. But then if they started to get like egos and shit, I'd boom, there's 6 goals. Take that, motherfucker.
But that, no mercy.
Games keep you.
I've been playing games against my brother for years. If I'm playing him on a football game, I'm decimating him because I know full well if he comes to Rocket League, he'd kick my ass.
I mean, siblings, it's a bit different. David will tell you that I didn't go easy on David. I mean, he was older than me. But yeah, no. Where do we get to? It's the same with Adam Sandler. Games keep your mind active, so in my opinion, they're great, and they also give you social interaction as you get older. That's important. I mean, games teach incredible skills. That's why I hate these people that come after games, because they don't realize how much social skills you can develop from video game. Problem solving, social interaction, so much. Always fancied seeing an old man gaming stream, retro games and comments on new ones. I mean, we've kind of had elements of that previously. We've had some retro stuff previously. Even just today, we were in our staff meeting discussion, we are getting an arcade cabinet installed in the Ice Cream Upload studio. So when we can finally get back into the ICU studio, we're going to have an old school retro cabinet. But I say an old school. It's one obviously a new school mimicking old school.
43-inch screen.
So yeah, 43-inch screen, 4 different players at once, and we've also getting it installed with a capture card so that we can stream it straight out onto Ice Cream Uploads too as well. So yeah, big things. I did see they're trying to make a Happy Gilmore 2. Okay, that disappoints me because that is an exceptional film. I'm not sure I'll enjoy it as much. 20 years ago, if you were a gaming dad, it meant you were on the losing side of a divorce. Oh God, no, it can't be worse than Coming to America 2. I didn't mind it. I know a lot of people hated it. I didn't mind it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. It was just very much the first film all over again.
No, I agree.
I think we've fallen down the rabbit hole there. I think we're nearly live for 2 hours there.
Sorry, I'm just jumping through the comments so I can wrap things up. Look at Dara Breen, he's a massive gamer. I hope they don't think it would be bad, but if they did, it would come to America too, then I can see it happening. Another Creed movie is also meant to be happening, in my opinion. 2 of them is enough. Also, Sly isn't in the next one, apparently. See, I didn't mind Creed. I thought it was good. Creed 2, not so much, but Creed I thought was decent.
I loved it.
Where's my discount, says Gagad. 48, just a kid. Graham, did you used to play Call of Duty to help Chloe get to sleep? I did. That was it. Exactly. So Callum knows. So, I'd play with Callum back in the day on the Xbox 360, playing Call of Duty 4. Chloe would not sleep without human touch. So basically, I would sit there, headset on, my back in the day, my Turtle Beach Air Force X1s on my Xbox 360, sat there, laid back, Chloe on my chest, and then me playing Call of Duty. While she was sat there for 3, 4, 5 hours-ish every night while Daniel had a bit of a nap. And then when it got to like 3 o'clock in the morning, he'd be like, okay, now it's time to get some sleep. So I'd put Chloe to sleep and play. So there you go. Game of Dad. My dad plays that game where you drink loads of beers and take an afternoon nap. My dad used to play that game too. Showed my boys how we used to game back in the day on a Spectrum, Amiga, etc. They were not impressed. Kids today don't know they're born. Yeah, and you got the stick with the red button, and those sticks were the crappiest manufactured things that have ever existed. Because you'd be like, okay, you can only go up, down, and right. Left doesn't work. It's like, fuck's sake. Great. Literally, we're playing a game where you a tank in a maze. You only have 4 directions. If you go up, right, and down, you can't go left. Eventually, you're going to get stuck in a corner. Boo! You're dead. Fuck's sake. It's true. Gary Clark is old. I think he marginally edges me out, so I'm not going to say anything. I think me and Mr. T-ish are around the same age. Gary might be a couple of 2 or 3 years older. Oh yeah, there you go. I'm 2 years older than you, so there you go. There you go. We're all old together. But that's it. We do have one more story. I'm going to just quickly give you the title. We're not because it's. Hopefully, we're going to get shitloads of news tomorrow, and we're not going to be able to cover this, but I'll give you the title. Naughty Dog says he isn't working on a new Jak and Daxter game, but wishes it was. There you go. So if you want a new Jak and Daxter game, there is none in the works. But you know what? They wish they were working on it. There you go. I think that kind of explains itself. Nice. We're all agreed? Yes, lovely. Anyway, we are going to disappear. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around for a long, old show. We're going to play some games for you today. Yeah, nice.
Yes, we are.
Does anyone want to play some PES? Some football? Nice. Well, you don't have to go away and come back because we're going to jump straight back on. Or at least I think that's the plan. I did ask Bib, but I didn't actually see if he responded or not.
I said yes.
Yes. Okay, nice. He did. Lovely. So we're going to finish the stream and we will jump straight back on with some games of PES. So if you're not doing anything for lunchtime and you want someone to keep you company, then come and watch me and maybe get absolutely rage quitting all over the place. So yeah, nice. Lovely. Yeah. But before we do that, we appreciate you all being in here. We appreciate Rob Lobber. Thank you for the follow. I missed that one. Thank you very much for that. Mr. Tharian Drake, thank you for the raid. And Gary for the, was it 7 months sub? Appreciate you all, you beautiful people. We appreciate everyone that helps keep the lights and mics on. Once again, taking Bib's phrases. But do you know what? We'll keep it going for you. We'll get you an extra stream today. Before that, though, Bib, is there anything you want to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much for each and every one of you that have joined us for today. But if you want to get involved with the show and help shape it, then please do get in contact with us. There's 2 ways you can do that. First of all, find us on social media at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media profiles. Don't know what happened there.
Ah.
Choked on thin air. I'll get into our Discord. The links will be in chat for you. If you are watching this on demand, please go into our descriptions. All the links that you will need will be there for you. All we need from you is a URL plus your first impressions. We will then give you our first impressions on the very next show, which at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
That'll be at 10 a.m.
a.m. Ish.
10 a.m. ish. So yeah, we are going to end the stream. We'll throw out the end slate. We're not going to raid or host anyone else because we're just going to change the title, get Pez loaded up. Actually, maybe need to give us 5 minutes ish because, you know, PS5s need to be updated. So yeah, we'll see how long that takes. But we'll be jumping straight back on. So hopefully stick around and join us for a few games. We'll have lunch together. It'd be lovely. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic day. And, oh, Bibby's back. He froze for a second. But yeah, there you go. Have yourselves a fantastic day. And stay frosty!
Stay frosty!